Alright, so as promised guys, this is part 2 of the everyday carry little kind of mini series I've been getting back into a little bit just to show you guys what I've been up to as far as my EDC setups. So, last video we talked about on-body setup, like what I have on my person, firearm, knife, keys, phone, flashlight, etc, etc, etc. Today we're going to talk about the bag, the idea of it. We're going to talk about that real quick because a lot of people get confused on what an EDC bag is. They see you with a backpack and a lot of people are going to assume, oh, you're some kind of survivalist or whatever. That is true, but it's also more than that. Like, I think everybody has an EDC bag, at least any prepared mindset man and woman these days. Well, women are kind of excluded from this because they have purses, but I do find women carrying satchels and other kind backpacks even when they have more stuff that they want to carry, when they have children, whatever. So for a guy like me though, how it works for me is I don't have kids. I have a dog, you know. I'm freaking single. But for me, I work 8 days or 7 days, 8 days a week. For me, I work 7 days a week, 12-hour days, most days. Like yesterday, I worked 10 to 10 in the morning. We all work a lot. We're all working a lot of days. So having a bag like this is basically like a lifeline. I'm not home a lot. So this is just gonna help me get out of bad situations, and it's gonna really, what it boils down for me, is to just help me live a little bit more comfortable. Or not even live, just be at work more comfortable. Like I have a change of underwear and socks and my gym clothes in there, just things you may need, you know what I mean? Just life, it's rough out there, you know, you're working every day, you might as well make it easy on yourself. So that's what this bag is for me. The reason why I choose the vanquest, this is the vanquest Trident 31, I'm sorry, I do have the 21. This is the big brother of it. This backpack for me is probably the best backpack that I own. I own several different kind of backpacks. 511, Recycled Firefighter, Maxpedition. I have them all, you know. Well, not as many as some, but I do have a lot. This, for me, the cool thing about this backpack is it's so versatile. This can be a hiking bag, this can be a camera bag, this can be an inch bag, a bug out bag, a 72-hour bag. It can be whatever you want it to be, honestly, guys. So that's an EDC bag for me, which means everyday carry. So when you have a bag like this though, a lot of people also get the wrong idea on what you do with it. Like, well, what do you walk around the mall with it? Like, why do you have to have that? Like, I have this, it stays in my truck, or it goes from my house to my truck, from my truck to the locker room at work. You know, if I'm leaving the house for 15 minutes, I'm not bringing this. I bring the bag that's inside of this, that comes out, acts like a little shoulder satchel, especially if I'm in gym clothes like I'm in now, and I don't want to carry my firearm in my freaking gym pants. So I'll carry it in there. There's a holster set up. You guys can see the video for how I work all that. I'm not going to show you all that. Also, this is a great range bag if you're going to go to the range. And this bag is so versatile. Actually, I'll show you some B-roll of how you can use this in a self-defense or terrorist situation, active shooter situation right now. So when you're doing this, you can use the bag as basically a bulletproof vest. You can put a soft armor plate in here. You can throw it in front of you like you're seeing right now. You can get in there and get to the firearm quick. Now, I generally do not keep my firearm inside of this bag. I don't even keep extra magazines in here anymore. I usually just carry one on me and my firearm always on me. So generally, how you're seeing it right now is how it is, so that's what I'm going to show it to you as. If I do need to keep my firearm in there, the option is there for me, so it's nice, and I'll show you how I have that set up. But anyway, I'm not going to get too crazy into the specs or whatever. You guys can look all that up. It's a very well-made bag, YKK zips, awesome stitching, really nice shoulder straps. It's very comfortable. And as I said, and I'll probably say a few more times, it's very versatile. You could do anything with this backpack. So for me, like on the side, I just keep a 32 ounce Nalgene bottle. Not a big deal. I drink a lot of water, and that's what I do. So I keep that there. The only other thing that I keep on the backpack on the outside, like you see a lot of guys like have stuff hanging off of it, carabiners everywhere, lights and different flashlights and multi-tools. I like to keep it plain. A lot of times I don't even have this on there. It just kind of fell off my other bag, so I just kind of stuck it on there real quick. But anyway, this is something that's called the Hero Clip. And I'll get in close for you guys so you can see this. This clip right here is basically, it's a carabiner, right? Except it kind of like unfolds into like this hook device. Right now it's a carabiner, you know, just like a regular beaner. And you unfold it and it's a hook and it spins 360 degrees and it works very well for a locker situation. If you're hanging it in that pole that goes across the lockers or whatever, that's how I do. And I just hang it in there and I can unzip this part here, which we're gonna get into first, which is gonna have all my main stuff. So if I have that hanging in my locker like this, you know, I can just open this flap up and get to whatever I need to get out of here. So going into this part right here, you're gonna see the shoulder strap bag that I use. And the reason why I have a bag like this, guys, is basically if I don't want to carry this, like, and I'm in like clothes I'm in now, I'm in gym clothes, I'm getting ready to go to the gym. Actually, this will go into the gym with me along with my Glock 43, which fits in there perfectly. I have it already preset so you guys don't freak out about playing with a loaded firearm or whatever. So I'll just have this in the holster. Actually, where is my holster? Oh, I believe it's still in here because I was demonstrating. So I have these little Velcro vanquest holsters or whatever. You'll see these throughout. I don't want to. The other video I explained this more, but it just gives me an option for the firearm. And you know, if I'm wearing joggers or walking a dog and I don't feel like carrying the bag, this is the bag I'll use. And it's very handy to have just another option, like a scouting type of bag. But it also has a tourniquet in there and other essential items that I'll need outside of this. So, and like I get, like a lot of people are probably like, wow, this is so over the top, but like this is the system that works for me. You just gotta kind of find your own little thing that works. Like I said, I work a lot of days. I mean, I literally work every single day. I don't have days off. And I'm at work most of the day. So, I mean, at least like all of us, we're at work half the day, and then, you know, we're at work more than we are at home, some of us. So it's good to have something like this where you can get in there and get the things you need. So right here in this bag, this is my work uniform. If I'm wearing my work uniform, like I said earlier, it depends on what I'm doing or where I'm going. I knew that was gonna happen. It depends on what time of day it is, if I'm going to work or I'm coming home, is it if I'm gonna have my uniform on or my gym clothes in here. But whatever the case, in that middle section right here, there's gonna be some kind of clothes. So right now I'm getting ready to go to the gym, because after work what I do is I just get in my gym clothes and I'll head to the gym right from my locker out of work. Today I came home to do this video, so anyway, that's what I'm doing. But if I'm going to work, I'll have my work uniform on, my belt, my multi-tool, everything on, and I'll just, you know, have my gym clothes in my bag here. That middle section right there is basically designated for clothing on an EDC basis. If I have it set up for a camping trip or something, it may be different. But anyway, this bottom part right here is an essential everyday carry item that I have in all my EDC bags no matter what. This thing is gonna have a lot of the like little tools that I'm gonna need. I don't like to have stuff all spread out throughout the bag. I have enough already spread out throughout the bag. So, but for in here, this is basically just a bunch of tools. I'm gonna do a separate video just on this, but just to go over it real quick, I have just a crescent wrench, some pry tools, you're gonna see in there, a knife sharpener, and in the back, actually, I have a seal lock key. This will open all your like, what is it? Oh, this will open all your industrial buildings water. So I have multiple ways to get fresh water if I need to, because that's very important, especially if you live in the city. You know, like natural disaster can happen and all the water can be shitty. So you gotta be able to get water. And then the only other thing that's pretty important that's in here is my boo-boo kit. This is just Band-Aid, Neosporin, Advil, simple stuff like that. Lighters and just knick-knack stuff, tools. That's all this is. So, but I go into that thing at least once a day to get something I need, whether it's an extra battery to a Band-Aid. It's always handy to have it. So other than that, the pouch is right here on the side on Velcro. And inside here, I keep a Rav Power 22,000 milliamp power bank. This thing is badass. I keep a couple of cords, rubber band around it. It'll charge up my phone. It'll charge up my computer if I have my computer in there. That's one reason why I picked this bag, because if I need to, my laptop will fit inside there, and I have the 15-inch MacBook Pro. And the MacBook Pro 15-inch fits in there like a glove, like it's nobody's business. A lot of times on the bottom part of it, I don't like how it's like just sitting there, so I'll get the extra cover separator, and I'll put it at the bottom just to give it a little bit of extra padding. It's actually very rare that I carry my laptop with me. It basically stays home. So, but if the option is there, you can put soft armor panels in here, you can put steel plates in here, you can put water bladders in here, you can do whatever you want with it. If you use it like that, you can use it as a ballistic vest, and I'll show you the B-roll of that. And if it comes in handy. You put it in front of you, and now you have a bulletproof vest. So that's pretty much it for the main pocket. And here, right in this bigger, larger pocket down below here, I just keep an extra pair of boxer briefs. Like I said, this is a bag that I use as like a lifeline. This is a bag that gets me through the day comfortably without having to worry about, oh, I forgot, I'm soaked, now I have to change my pants. And I have extra work pants at work, but like, you guys know, you guys all work for a living, and some of you women even know too. It doesn't matter. The thing about Hard City is that I always want everybody to understand is when I say you guys, I'm not being gender specific. I'm just basically saying everybody, so like when I talk about guys or jobs or whatever, I'm talking for everyone, you know what I mean? Because women do some crazy shit. It's like now, it's just so media just puts a picture on it, and it's disgusting. So anyway, anyways, you all know what I'm talking about when I say we work hard. You can get soaked at work, and just like your feet get wet, and just shit like that can just suck. So I keep boxer briefs and extra socks in here. The extra socks actually aren't in here right now because they're in my locker at work. So I'll rotate them out every now and again, but I always have extra socks either in my bag or in my truck or somewhere. There's extra socks everywhere because I just don't like having my feet wet, period. Nobody does. Alright, so other than that, the up here you have this like little flap that has a couple of Velcro pockets. I just keep some medications up there. That's Vicks, Dayquil, and Zantac. I have some heartburn I get a lot. I actually have medication for it now, but I do keep the Zantac just in case. And sometimes I feel like a little sick, you get a little cold or whatever, day cold. That Vicks Dayquil just works for me wonders. I don't take it a lot. If I feel a little down on the weather, under the weather, I'll take 2 of those, and I'm usually good. And if I'm starting to really get sick, I'll just pump my body full of vitamin C till I can't take it no more. And I usually don't get sick, guys. Honestly, I'm not one of those people who gets sick a lot, so it's good for me, I guess, right? Anyway, drink a lot of water, take care of your body, mind, soul, and spirit, and you'll be good to go until you're 120. Where else are we at here? We got the inside covered. Oh, let's do the side. So the side pocket, I have set up as basically, this is like a toiletry kind of pocket. I do have a tourniquet in here though. This is just your SWAT T tourniquet. Or I'm sorry, is it the SWAT T? What is this one called? It's the rubber band one. Yeah, the SWAT T tourniquet. It doubles as a compression bandage. I have it in a plastic bag so it just comes in and out of there faster. It's a rubbery material that likes to be hard to pull out of this ripstop nylon, so I keep it in that. Other than that, in this whole pocket is basically wet wipes, toilet paper, a toothbrush, and toothpaste, and that's pretty much it. It's a toiletry thing, and this is one of those pockets and things that you wouldn't have without this backpack that just makes your life very easy. Maybe you have to go to the bathroom really bad, you don't have toilet paper. Maybe your breath really is bad after lunch and you don't have a toothbrush. Maybe you're going on a date right after work and you want to clean up a little bit. You know, so there's things like that that just makes life easier. Maybe you don't even have, maybe it's not even about a date. Maybe it's a meeting, an important business meeting, or maybe a meeting with the head boss at your work. And you know, for me, going into those meetings, like, hey, in 15 minutes the plant manager wants to see you or whatever. For me, I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna clean up, go to my locker room, go into my bag, and make sure I don't have a big grease stain on my face or something like that. So that just, for me, you go that extra mile to impress people. It pays off in dividends, and for me, it definitely did, because my body shop got laid off, and you guys know the story. Most of you, I'll do the podcast. You want to listen to my podcast? I do a lot about that. But getting laid off and then offered a job making almost $120,000 a year is a come up for me. And you know, not saying that because I carry an EDC bag that happened, but attention to detail is something that people like that look for. So keep that in mind. Anyway, so last person in the last video said, what are you on, meth or something? First of all, I found that to be very rude and ignorant, but second of all, I also found that to be very funny, because anybody who knows like Eminem or any kind of rock and roll legend, like anybody, pick anybody, let's take Tom Petty, right? So Tom Petty used to tell this story. Actually, he came to my mind first because of this. So Tom Petty would tell about how when he was done a concert, he would come home and just couldn't unwind. He would just like walk around the house like crazy. So for me, I just worked 8 hours of absolute madness at work, and I'm coming home to do a video. I'm getting hyped. My adrenaline is pumped. It's not that I'm on drugs or some kind of speed. It's just my mind is racing 1,000,000 miles a minute, and I still have adrenaline pumping, and I'm still cutting off my gym time. Right now, I should be pumping 90-pound dumbbells through chest press right now. So, you know, keep that in mind. Like, I'm a very high metabolism person. My mind, I have ADD, I'm ADHD. My mind is going 1,000,000 miles a minute. I don't do freaking drugs or anything like that. Not that I need to explain that to people, but I just feel like it's something that you just don't understand if you have if you're this type of person. Like, I love to create. It's almost the same thing as being a rock and roll star. I'm coming home from work, I can't wind down. I have to do something. I have to do freaking YouTube or lift weights or whatever. I can't just come home and sit on the couch. It's just not who I am. So anyway, let's just keep going here. In this quick zip pouch right on the top, I'll keep my journal. This is one thing that I'll wind down with. If I'm laying in bed or I'm on my break at work, I pull out my journal and I go to town and I write almost every single day. It just depends, you know, if I'm super tired and it gets to that point, I don't write in it, but I'll usually catch up, or I'll do like a weekly vlog or something, or a weekly blog, I guess you would call it, right? I don't know, a weekly journal entry, let's just put it that way. The only other thing in this pouch right here is just some tissues. So if you are crying, you gotta blow your nose, all that kind of shit, there you go. So in this, there's a pocket behind this that unzips. If we unzip it, I'm gonna sit like this because my butt hurts, something like that. I don't know if you can still be able to see it, but I guess we're okay. So yeah, opening up this pocket here, I have a lot of different stuff. There's another pocket here. The one thing I like about this vanquest bag is there's 1,000,000 freaking pockets. So in this pocket right here, you're gonna see it opens up. It's got these little Velcro tabs right here, and I just keep some Kevlar gloves in here. I used to carry batting gloves for like the longest time. I swore by batting gloves, and I still do. They're actually really good EDC bag gloves to just have in there. They fold up really flat. They don't get in the way. I see a lot of guys carry mechanics gloves. Personally, in my opinion, I'm a mechanic. I've been a mechanic my whole life. Those gloves are garbage. And you always see guys pull out like brand new stuff out of their EDC bags anyway. Like My stuff is freaking dogs, man. I use this stuff every single day. These not so much, but my gloves at work, forget about it. The only other thing, this is a new addition actually I took out of my survival bag because I wanted it in there. We've been getting a lot of crazy storms and backed up drains and stuff in the city, so I wanted a way to be able to filter water if I needed to on the fly. And this is something called the Survivor Filter. And it's like 0.8 micron or something. It's like the best one they make, and it's really, I tested it out and I did the video on it, but I never ended up putting it out. So maybe I'll show you guys that again, but this thing works awesome. I just took a sip right out of the creek out there with this thing and I was fine. Actually, the water tastes very good. So in that pocket there, just some Kevlar gloves and that water filtration. Did I tell you about my Nalgene? So I do keep a Nalgene bottle on the outside of this bag. I think I told you about that in the beginning. I don't know. If I didn't, I keep a 32-ounce Nalgene in this side pocket here, and it fits in there really nice. In addition to that, I keep these Nun, I guess that's what they're called. Yeah, Nun Hydration. And these are just little hydration tablets. They're vitamins and salt and electrolytes, and they keep you hydrated. Wildland firefighters use these, so I keep them in my backpack. I keep them in my toolbox at work, and they are really awesome. Right here, you'll see I have a SAM tourniquet. This is a new type of tourniquet that I'm not really familiar with yet, but I've been kind of playing with it, so it's in there. Just trying to test it out and see how it works, see if I like it. But this is the SAM XT tourniquet. It seems to be a pretty good one. It's actually, I think it just got a combat approved or whatever, so this is a pretty good tourniquet to get. I'm not familiar with it yet. I just got to do a little bit more testing and practicing with it before I use it. I do have other tourniquet in my shoulder bag. I carry the soft teeth tourniquet. You can see that in my other video. But right here, there's extra slots you can keep if you want to carry extra magazines down in here. Like I said, if I do need to do that, I'll keep an extra mag or two in those pockets there, and you're good to go. Right here, I just keep some pens. This is the James pen. This is the pen that I'll use for journaling. If I'm gonna write my journal, I'll use this one. And this thing is pretty badass. It's got really nice knurling on there, and it's just a really nice pen. Awesome click, and it writes really super smooth. Most of you know that I'm an artist and I like to write, so. Ooh, check out the watch though. I know some of you might be catching little glimpses of my calculator watch. I do have a calculator watch on. So, yep, that's happening. So, other than that, guys, the tourniquet, the only other thing in here are some chest seals. And these are the Hyphen vented chest seals. I keep those in there. This is like kind of like a little trauma medical pouch, I guess. Last pocket is up top here, and this pocket's always going to change pretty much because right now it's packed for me leaving work. And so the things that are in here are my work EDC tools. My multi-tool, the belt that I use, my O-light, and just my work EDC, which is the next video that we're going to film is the work EDC video. So if you want to find out about the work EDC and what I carried for work, that video is going to come out as soon as my new sheath comes in for the multi-tool flashlight and knife. So I'm excited for that. Actually, I got to do the review on that item when it comes in first. But other than that, in this top pocket, I just keep some sunglasses. These are cheapo gas station sunglasses, no big deal. Some more wet wipes, extra notepad, and a couple of extra pens. And this pen actually though is a little bit more tactical. This is the Zebra pen, and I have it rigged up with a Fisher Space Filler, and I also have it rigged up with this all steel. They don't come with this. I think the new ones might, but this one that I bought came with this plastic thing up here, the clicky. But right now this is all steel, and it's a good self-defense weapon. So anyway, the only other thing up here is chapstick and my pen. So my pen, the Big Idea design. I didn't want to get into showing off like all the stuff that I already showed you in the last EDC video, but that stuff is work stuff. When I'm done work, I'll put that stuff in that pocket. I'll put my work clothes in here. I'll take my gym clothes. I'll have my gym clothes on, and I'll head to the gym or head home or whatever I'm gonna do. So that is pretty much how I pack this bag out. The only other thing that I want to show you guys is the firearm option. little zipper area right here is it has these two. The older vanquest bag didn't do this, but this new one does. You can lock that if you want. So if you have to leave it in your car, you can lock your firearm inside there. For me, my firearm is never inside my car, just like sitting in the bag. It's always either on me or locked up somewhere safe if I have to leave it in the car. But other than that, I'm not gonna just leave it in the bag. People can take your bag and then your whole gun and everything. So if you are gonna lock it up in your bag and have to leave it in your car, maybe you're going to like a government building or something like that and you have to leave it behind, my recommendation is to get this thing. It's like a chain lock, like a big chain basket weave thing that goes over the backpack, and that locks to your car. It's very hard to get into. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. I didn't go over some of the features of it, but it does have like the waist strap. It's very well made. It has a freaking whistle on it. I think this one does. Yep, it does. So it's built-in whistle. There's all kinds of different things on this bag. So if you want to check it out, go ahead. It works really good for me for everyday carry and as my little lifeline. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's my EDC bag of lately. That's the things I've been carrying and why. It just basically makes more sense to me to have the things that I need than not have the things I need when I need them. When you work every day and you hustle, you know, having a bag like that to have the things you need, it just pays off for me. I've never come up with a day where it's like I felt like I didn't need that and left it behind. I've always carried an EDC bag, but not to this extent. Even through high school, you know, out of high school and stuff like that, I had a bag. Always had a backpack in my car, like going to friends' houses, whatever. Nowadays, I'm a little bit more organized as far as tools go and survival items because I want to be able to get out of a bad situation. Now, if I have my dog with me and we're going to somewhere pretty far away from the house, I'll use something bigger, and we'll get into that video one day. But it just all depends, really. The way I do it is it depends on how many hours I'm going to be away from the house. If I'm going on a couple of day trip, of course I'm going to pack for that. If I'm going to work for the day, this is the bag. If I'm going away for the entire day and all night and the dog's with us, we're going to pack different bags for different situations. And I have all those bags, thankfully, so I have videos on all of it if you guys want to check them out. Feel free to browse through the channel. I'll try to leave some links below. Alright, so that's going to be it for this video, guys. Like, share, subscribe, give me a thumbs up if you haven't already. You know, I already appreciate that. I can't believe we have 3,500 subscribers right now. Thank you all so much. So keep on liking the videos and watching, and I'll keep putting them out. I'm going to keep putting them out anyway. You guys know me. I'm not going to ever leave this place. It's too much fun. So if you want, check out my podcast. I have that on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. And Podbean, if you have Android, it seems to be pretty easy, I find, for people who have Android to just go in there and listen to any podcast and mine. And yeah, leave a comment below as long as it's respectful. I love you all. Peace.